Hello fellow gunners, Tim here, the reloading bench. I'm going to do some more loading on these 85 grain wad cutters. Now, you remember on our testing earlier, I had 3 different loads. I had green dot, red dot, unique. In the 14 grains of red dot, unique, I had 5 prints on the target. So that's kind of promising. So I thought, okay, I think maybe I might need a little bit more speed. So we're going to just speed these bullets up a little bit. In unique, I'm actually going to go 1 grain intervals. I'm going to go 15, 16, and 17. And I also said that I wasn't going to try blue dot or 2400, but I am. And I'm going to use 16 grains of blue dot and 20 grains of 2400. And we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully it won't blow my face off. I'm also going to be using different primers. And I'll show you them here in a minute. Now, in the last testing, I was using, now these are old guys, and these are probably mid-60s, 65s, somewhere in there. These are CCI Magnum primers, 250s. That's what I used in the last test. This time, I'm going to be using Magnum primers, but I am still going to be using some old primers, some Herders, improved primers. These are 120, number 120. I'm sure that there's no such thing anymore. If there is, great, make a comment. I want to know that Herder's still making primers, but right now, I don't believe that's true. And I actually want to show you the anvil in these primers. It's got 2 holes on either side of each other instead of 4 holes in a modern anvil. This is pretty unique to me. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to load these up. And I also will be loading, hang on a second. Also going to be loading some mid-60s High-Vel number 2 powder. This powder is no longer in production, probably hasn't been since the 60s. But there's a date up here. You can't hardly see it. But anyway, it's 2 of 64, which would be February of 64. Like I said in some of my past videos, I've inherited some of this stuff. And this was some of the stuff that I've inherited. And the person that I inherited this stuff from wrote down the dates when he bought this stuff. Like these primers here, you'll see it says June of 65. These primers are 52 years old, which I'm sure that's probably about the same time he bought these Herders. Even though I think, if I remember right, these were in a big box, and I discarded the big box. And probably shouldn't have, but that's what it is. So what I'm going to do is, since I have the mid-60s powder, the mid-60s primer, I have some, you can see it, 68 brass. I got 5 pieces of that I found. And I will be using these mid-60s projectiles, which is Army pulled bullets, which weigh about 162, 165. They vary a lot, which is really just disconcerting to me that they would weigh 3 to 5 grains different. But I'm also going to be loading 5 of them, so there'll be retro bullets, or I had the word for it, and it's slipping my mind right now. But that's what I'm going to be loading here. So I'm going to go ahead and load up these wad cutters, and then I'll come back and we'll load up the mid-60 rounds. All right, guys, I'm back. Now we're going to load. I don't know how to say this. If you take all the components of 1965 and 68 and make a cartridge, now in 2017, is it still a 1965 cartridge? 68 cartridge? Or is it a 2017 cartridge? All right. So, what kind of gave me this idea, other than having the components to do this, was Uncle Jim run across some antique ammunition, some 38s and some 45s, and he was doing some shooting with these antique ammunition. So I thought, you know what? I've got antique components. Maybe I'll just make some antique ammunition myself. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to take my Lake City 68 brass. I'm going to put some 1964 powder in it. With my 65 primer, 1965 primer in it. The bullets, I have no idea. They come out of 30-06s, and of course, like I said, he used the casings, so I don't have the casings. So now we're going to take the bullet and load it. Man, this is a tall bullet. Oh, I'm using 38 grains of this High Vel number 2. Hercules High Vel number 2. That's what the cartridge looks like. It's a tall cartridge. All right. Got my trickler up so I can make sure I get just what I need. It seems to be jammed up. Oh, here we go. Alright, I'm going to load the other 3. So think about that, guys. Make a comment on that. So am I making mid-60 ammunition? Or am I making 2017 ammunition? Depends how, what components I'm using. Alright, now that's the ponder. Alright, now I'm going to load these up, and hopefully next time you see me, I'll be at the range shooting them. I'm also going to be getting ready for the taco challenge. I don't know if any of you know what the taco challenge is, but if you go to Full Lead Tacos channel, his last video is on the taco challenge. He'll give you all the rules and regulations and whatever you want to call them, but give him a visit. All right, guys. I'm going to hopefully see you in the range. All right, we're at the range. We're going to try out these wadcutters again. That was 15 grains of unique. Now we're going to 16 grains. we're going to 17 grains. There is an improvement. I can see it. But my hose look funny. Now we're going to go right into the blue dot. Pause. Right into the 2400. I'm going to be shooting at 50-year-old cartridges. Or are they new? Are they old or are they new? 50-year-old components. So guys, I'm back from the range. Got some interesting results. I don't know if you can see that primer or not. That's from the 17 grains of Unique. That's showing some pressure. That's almost beyond rifle pressure. I won't be going above 17 grains of Unique. What I found out now, this one, and that one is from the 50-year-old components. So don't count that. Now the first four that I shot, the 15 grains of Unique, I was aiming here, and they of course went over the target, and then I changed my aiming point to here, and then I get all this. So I went ahead and I shot the same target because none of the groups are impressive enough to worry about which one was doing the best. They've all pretty well scattered out, but I'll be doing a ladder, I think that's the term now, ladder workup from 16 grains to not to 17. But from 16 up to maybe 16.5 and 2.5.2 grain intervals. See if we can do better. But it is improving. At least it's getting more on the target. Okay, so here's the primers on the 50-year-old components. Looking pretty good. Actually, this was my first shot. This was my second shot. This was my third shot, fourth shot, and fifth shot. The reason why I think they walked down was the barrel was getting pretty daggum hot. As you can tell, I was shooting pretty fast for trying to get groups and I shouldn't do that. I should let it cool off, but I wanted to get down there and get out of there before it started getting busy. And I don't know, it being the 4th of July weekend, it might never got busy, but I didn't want it to get a chance. So, the 50-year-old component shop, pretty good there, guys. Thanks for watching. Share, subscribe. There I go studying. And like. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next video.